Hey everyone, it's Tracy. Welcome back. So today I am going to show a process video. I'm using a couple of the Vicki Boutin watercolor products that she has. I start off with the art crayons. I know I've had several people ask me to show them how I do my backgrounds. I love watercolor backgrounds. So this is the video that I'm going to show everything that I do. So I use this huge, excuse me, number 18 round brush. I got that at Hobby Lobby. And I like the 18 because the bristles hold a lot of water and a lot of color. So I don't remember how much I paid for it, but I know a lot of watercolorists, they use a 14 and a 16. But for some reason, the 18 works well for me. Start off with the purple, and the colors I'm choosing, actually, they come from the photo. It's the twins again, and they're wearing these colors, the blue and pink and purple, and that's why I wanted to use those colors. And then here is the pink. I didn't really like that color pink so much, so I added just a little bit of orange, and it changed the color just enough, but then you don't see very much of it. And the way that Vicki says to do her colors is with that little plastic or acetate that you use to put the color on. You kiss it like it's your grandmother, not like Brad Pitt. So you just tap, tap, tap the color on. And I am using paper that I had put gesso on, and it makes a difference between that and her foundation paper. Her foundation paper is absolutely wonderful, and I prefer that, but I wanted to see what it was like to use the gesso paper because I haven't done that in a while, and I know most people know how to put gesso on their paper, uh, and I did this probably about 6 months ago. I had put gesso on about 10 sheets of cardstock. I let them all dry, and then I just have them handy so whenever I'm ready to do a background, it's ready for me. All right, so I thought that the colors were a little too pastel, so I get out the tubes of watercolors. I have never used these before. I already knew that the colors didn't really match the label that was on the tube. I heard that, and I keep thinking, "Oh, I need to swatch this out," but I didn't do this, and to be honest with you, when I looked at this tube, I thought it said purple on it. It looked like purple to me, which I was okay with, until this blue came, and I'm like, "Well, that works out perfect," so I didn't have to feel like I had to waste it. I normally don't use that much color, but I felt like the tube kind of exploded a little bit because look at all this purple. It's way too much. So what I end up doing, I'm sorry guys, I've got a frog in my throat. Um, and I've tried to clear it so many times. Um, so what I end up doing is getting the foundation paper and just putting it on that because I feel like I can use some purple later on. So here's the foundation paper that I'm getting together, and I'm just going to splatter that on. And I usually go at a diagonal, so that's why the color is going the way that it is. And then I'm just going to set this off to the side and let it dry. Now there's one more color that I'm gonna add, because I didn't mention it, but I did add a yellow, and there are 2 yellows that were in the tubes, and I couldn't decide which one. I'm glad I chose the one that I did. It certainly does brighten up this page. Yeah, these are definitely the tubes are very bright colors. So I think if you are looking for more of a pastel, yeah, continue to use the art crayons. You can intensify the colors by building up the colors on top of each other, and I do that a lot. but this one I wanted to make it a really, really bright. So that's why I chose to use the tubes. If that even makes sense. I know that sounded a little confusing. When you do it this way, it takes longer because you have to wait for everything to dry. Now, I've mentioned this before. I don't use a heat tool to dry my paper. It seems to warp to me. So I just let it air dry. And so that means I leave it for hours. And it's okay. It's not a race. I'm not in a hurry. I don't have, design teams to get completed and upload, by a certain time. So this is just for fun. Now, I want to mention when you mix purple and yellow together, you get brown. So it happened in a couple spots when I put this because I wanted whatever excess paint that I had, I wanted to put it on this sheet with this Vicki Boutin paper and see how it turned a little brown. So just be careful whenever you mix colors that are opposite from each other. So now it's all dry. This is actually later in the day, and I pull out the Vicki Boutin Field Notes ephemera pack and she has two ephemera packs. So I pull out both of those, and I had already pre-selected all these items because watching me do all of the background took long enough. Now, I went through these stickers and I'm looking for phrases and things with a pop of black because I felt like, the colors are beautiful, but it's kind of missing something. And when I feel that way, it needs a little pop of black. Now, I know that there's black stars there, and I got that in my Secret Not Secret Kit Club in a little packet that I have, and it just wasn't enough. So I pulled out a couple pieces there. One is a vellum piece. It says "Like a Boss," and I'm going to end up cutting that out. I had, it's a sticker, and it glued it down on some white cardstock. Now, because I did use gesso, I do need to add wet glue. I want to make sure that everything sticks. I don't make you watch me glue the title down because that took some time to do all of that. Now, the title, this cut file is from Spiegel Mom Scraps, A Beautiful Mess. She has a couple of those. She has some beautiful cut files. So make sure you stop by her Facebook group, or actually it's going to be in her store. So if you'll look there, you join our Facebook group, I think there's even more free cut files. And I am all about the free cut files. If that is something that you guys know about me, I talk about the free cut files. In fact, I'm thinking about doing a series about cut files and all the free cut files that I find, because I found even more besides the Spiegel Mom Scraps this past week. I found even more. So I like to share that because I know that the cut files, they can get expensive, if you end up paying full price. And I tried to post when I find them on sale, like Paige Evans had her cut files on sale for Valentine's Day. So whenever there's a holiday, you should always check out, some of these stores. She has a Etsy store, Paige Evans does, and that's where I get mine. All right, so now after everything was put down, I still wasn't happy. So I thought, well, let me try sequins. Oh, that was what it needed. It needed a little bit of sparkle to it. So I did use some sequins that I have purchased in the past. These are actually from Pretty Pink Posh. So here's the close-ups. And I want to thank you guys for stopping by. Give a thumbs up if you liked it, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye-bye.